Hey guys, how are you? Today I wanted to come on and share with you a little bit more about the marketing side to network marketing. You know, a lot of people talk about the networking part a lot, but how about the marketing? And so I want to help you. I'm coming on today. I'm going to school you on this, you know, how to share your story with multiple people. Now, a lot of the time our story remains the same. Yes, it changes over a period of time, but it's really important to share your story. If you're in an online business, this is one of the most important things to do. And I recommend you share your story approximately every 5 posts, because people are not going to see every post you do. They're not going to be looking through your timeline a lot, but majority of the time when people are going to come and check you out, they will scroll to the top 5 of your posts. So I'm going to school you on this. It's a really, really simple way of being able to share your story. And I'm going to use the acronym PASTOR, P-A-S-T-O-R. For those that don't know me, my name is Christy Waterworth, and I help women create an online business using methods that I've gone through. I've been in the online world for 5 years. And I've done everything wrong, okay? I've done the spamming, I've done the gross posts, I've done, okay? And so I've been doing this this way for quite a while now, and my business has changed. My whole entire life has changed. And so I'm gonna give you guys my top tips on how to make a bomb caption sharing your story. You know, we want to constantly share our story to new people all the time. And so let's dive in, okay? And so the P, so we're going to use the acronym PASTOR. So the P in PASTOR, and just so you know, I didn't come up with this, but I found it and I implemented it, and it's working very well. And I teach my teams this now as well. So P stands for the person, the pain, or the problem. Now, you have to open up any sort of caption, right? And when we open up the caption, it needs to be about you. It needs to be a little bit vulnerable. So it's important when you are sharing your story, you're talking raw, real, and about yourself, okay? A lot of people are attached to emotions, and that's what we want to sort of put out in your captions, okay? Now I'm going to give you examples the whole way along, so be sure to write them down, because a lot of what I'm going to say, you probably feel the same way, okay? So P, person, problem, or pain. Some examples to start a caption off. I remember when fear took over my life. Now I don't know about you, but when I first started this business, I had fear, all right? So for anybody who reads this and is looking for an online business, they'll be like immediately attached, or, you know, feel attached to my statement, and then want to continue reading because they're fearful of starting their own business, okay? So I remember when fear took over my life. Another way of saying this is I remember when I used to stress about money. Or I remember when my partner and I would fight about money. And again, these sort of statements relate to a lot of people in the world. And that's what you want to do, okay? You want to use your real vulnerability to put it out there to attract people to you. And so I speak about money because, you know, it has changed my life, and maybe it's changing your life, but it's also something that, again, a lot of people go through, okay? And so another one, you can, and how to start it is always I remember when, because throughout your journey, your journey is going to change. You'll always start the same though, okay? So I remember when, it's selling the transfer of feelings. What is the problem that your readers are facing or your target audience are facing? So that's the problem that you're addressing, okay? So that's the P. Now A, PASTOR, P-A, we need to amplify it, okay? So I remember, P, I remember when I used to stress about money. A, I'll never forget the nights I would stay up late, constantly thinking about my future and where it was leading. I really hate where my life was financially heading. Bills were taking over most of my paycheck. I was working overtime, 60 hours a week. getting stuck in traffic, getting paid for 40 hours a week. Time off to do anything for me was few and far between. So I really couldn't afford to do much. Now, I don't know about you, but did any of that relate to you? Because again, I'm just amplifying the first statement that I said. And so, did you ever stay up late at night, thinking where your life is heading? A lot of people do. Anyway, I'll continue, okay? So you kind of get my drift. Now, in this second statement, we don't lie. Through our business, you don't lie, okay? You just amplify the situation. Now, it could be weight loss that you're a little bit embarrassed about. So you could start off with P, that you were embarrassed about. I remember when I was embarrassed about my weight and I used to hide behind people. You could amplify that and say, in family photos, I used to have to ask my family to stand in front of me so they would hide my body because I was so scared of the way I looked. Okay? Amplifying the situation. All right, now the S, pastor, now the S. We've done the P, we've done the A, now the S is your story, solution, or system. Now, this is a pivotal moment and you explain the story, explain how you got to that point. And so for me, I was actually whinging about my 9 to 5 at the time, and somebody reached out to me to have a look at an opportunity. But my initial thought was it was a scam. Okay, but I had trusted her. I'd watched her journey. I'd seen her traveling overseas on these all expenses paid for trips. She'd been on 9 at the time. I wanted to travel the world. She was sacked. She sacked her boss. She sacked her husband's boss. She was a yes mum, and I knew that was the life that I wanted. Okay, and so I knew I had more to gain than to lose. So I thought, hey, what the hell? I'll give it a go. Okay, so that is the story behind why I am doing what I'm doing. And I guess you can dig deeper in this section. And the thing is, if your opportunity hasn't changed, how is it changing? Where were you when it was changing? How is the products changed you? How is the business changing you? So there's other ways you can do it. If you haven't reached a certain goal or got there, you can share other journey and where your journey is going at the moment. And so, it might just be your first month in the business, and you could start off with, I remember when, I was fearful of running this online business. I was fear of what people thought of me, fear of the judgment, fear of failure. But I was following a girl on social media who, was living a life that I wanted, or she was, I seen her lifestyle and I sort of wanted that, and then the transformation and the testimony is number 4. And you can share that, since doing this, I've been more confident as a person myself. It might not be financially, but what about you? How do you feel in this business? How is this business changing your mind, So you can share all of these things. So what's happened since? How has your life, changed since now? Well, since I said yes, I no longer work full time. I make more of an income from home than I did at my job. I'm able to have time off with Nash. I've got a child, so my business my life has completely transformed, and I will share that. But if you're new, you can just share the small things. Everything is a win. Everything is a win. The small wins, just like more confident on talking to other people, more confident sharing yourself and your story on social media. It's just the little things. Maybe you're a little bit more confident in your skin. And so, just how is your life starting to change, or how, maybe it's a savings account. You just don't know, okay? So making sure you share every little win and talk about yourself the most, or talk about the other people that you're helping. So you can talk about both in this scenario. So what's the testimony you have? Okay, this is where 70% of your sale will be made from your testimony or someone else's testimony. And people will be asking you the questions about your status. It's like, have you actually done what you're saying? Have you taught anybody else? And can you teach me? And so they can be completely different stories. Every 5 posts, you do a different story based around the same story. And like I said, on social media, people don't see all your posts. Only about 10% of your social media following sees your posts. So post it again in another 5 days, change it up a little bit, and the other 10% will see it. Get my flow? All right, now we're up to the O, which is the offer. You have to offer and ask. You're not going to get anything these days if you don't, okay? So don't sit back and think people will come to you, because at the start they won't. You have to go out and offer and ask. And end your post in a way that says, if you're interested in changing your life, message me, jump in my DMs, let's have a chat, watch this 15-minute presentation. If you're interested in changing your skin, message me, here's the link, let's chat. What are your concerns? If you're interested in traveling more, I joined because I actually wanted to travel. So some of my stories relate around traveling. And so why did you join? And so you just need to ask. If you don't ask, you won't get anywhere. Okay. And the answer will always be no. So the offer is the crucial. PASTO. And now the R is the response. Now, I don't usually utilize this response that much, but it is about giving us step-by-step instructions on sending people to your website or getting them more information, or, sending them on to the next point in the sale. And so anyway, I hope that you guys got a little bit of value from it. It's very generic. So share it with anybody who needs to hear it, because your story is so powerful. And definitely jump on, share it over every 5th post. And if you want me to read over your post, jump in my DMs, send me an example and I'll go over it, because I've done that many. And so, okay, let's just go through it again. The P is the person, the problem, or the pain. A is amplify or aspirations. S is the story, the solution, or the systems. T is transformation or testimony. O is the offer, and R is the response.